Town Council makes headway on the fiscal 14 operating budget. Highlights from last night's meeting on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, June 7th, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. Barnstable Town Council last night began approvals of the proposed fiscal 14 operating budget. The night began with a review from the Comprehensive Financial Advisory Committee, then moved into presentations and public hearings. Chief of Police Paul McDonald presented the police budget. He talked about goals for the coming year.
The deployment of the patrol force and street crime unit to small geographic locations and times when crimes occur, and targeting specific high-impact repeat offenders. The more serious crimes, they're usually not random events. They do tend to happen in certain geographical areas. They tend to happen at certain times of day and certain days a week. And they're usually committed by the same high-impact repeat offenders, and the shift commanders are dealing with that. That is why the calls for service are up so dramatically. We also know that there's a direct correlation between the Part 1 crimes and the use, distribution, and trafficking of narcotics, so we will continue with our aggressive, proactive narcotics investigations. And we also want to continue with the leasing of the Hyannis Station located at 491 Main Street, Hyannis. We know that the best deterrent is a high visible police presence, so keeping that Main Street station is important. But we also want to move with a third station in the outer villages, the western villages, somewhere along the Route 28 corridor west of West Barnstable Road. And if we do this, we expect a continuation of the downward trend of the Part 1 crimes as we have experienced over the past 5 years.
The chief outlined his proposed budget.
The budget, patrol, $7,709,703. Administrative services, $1,892,551. Investigative services, $1,623,188. Records, $375,726, for a total fiscal year 14 budget of $11,601,168.
Council approved the $11.6 million police operating budget. Next up, the school department. Superintendent Dr. Mary Chakowski promoted the school's goals for fiscal 14.
Look at our fiscal year 2014 budget considerations. First and foremost, it's important that we employ highly qualified, certified personnel in front of our students. We believe that this is a budget that is FTE neutral, and we'll go into our full-time equivalents in part of this presentation. We also believe that we are looking at our current and future enrollment trends, and I'll talk a little bit about NESDEC, which is an organization that looks at births as well as retention rates. We're looking to review our existing programs for effectiveness and relevancy to a 21st century curriculum. Many of our schools are engaged in adopting what is called the Common Core, which is a national Common Core curriculum. Part of this budget is also preserving and revitalizing our existing infrastructure and our resources. And we believe that this budget has long-term financial sustainability.
Council approved the requested $57.2 million operating budget. Public Works, another large chunk of the spending, was up next. DPW Director Dan Santos first presented the overall operating budget.
The department's total operating budget this year is $18.8 million, representing an overall 3.2% increase over FY13. It is broken out by division as shown here, with water pollution control having the lion's share at 23%. Administration and technical support represent only 8.2% of the entire budget. 92% is in the working division.
The Solid Waste Enterprise Fund was next.
The FY14 budget is $2.7 million, increased $39,587 or 1.49% over last year. Personnel costs have increased to cover contractual obligations, and payments on debt service have decreased. Division goals this year include preparing for the installation of the solar array, the continued evaluation of single-stream recycling, and pay-as-you-throw disposal alternative.
Followed by a $4.3 million request for water pollution control.
Decreased $355,671, or 7.6% less than last year. Personnel costs have increased to cover contractual obligations, and sludge disposal costs have increased, but energy costs have decreased, as well as the cost of debt service. Funds have additionally been increased for the operation and maintenance of the solar array that's at the facility. Goals for FY14 include upgrading all pump station control panels, standardizing operation and maintenance procedures for energy systems, and continuing to explore the use of innovative and alternative technologies in processes and in energy use.
And a $3.6 million request for the Water Supply Enterprise Fund budget.
Increased $207,849, or 6% over last year. Personnel costs have increased to cover contractual obligations. Cost of debt service has increased, and operating expenses have increased. Goals for the division include continuation of the pipe replacement program, implementation of the new well exploration program, and well building and treatment plant rehabilitation.
Town Council approved all DPW requests. Also amongst approvals for last night, the town manager's budget of $565,000. That's down from last year.
Is $86,984, less than the FY13 approved budget, representing a 13% decrease. The decrease is due to the severance package for the former town manager being completed in fiscal year 13. This budget includes funding for 4.5 full-time employees. Operating expenses are reduced by $3,000 to $129,333, as the cellular phone costs are now part of the IT division operating expenses. Funding sources are comprised of taxes, enterprise funds, and permits. Tax support is decreasing $94,617 for FY14 for the budget, is declining $86,984, and enterprise fund support is increasing $8,633.
Assistant Town Manager Mark L. serves as head of administrative services. He outlined that department's budget.
The Administrative Services Department budget is increasing by $231,510, or 4.5%, over the FY 2013 approved budget. The increase in personnel costs of $139,173 includes all contractual pay increases, as well as an additional 0.2 full-time equivalents in the legal division. This increase in staff is due to a change in accounting. Previously, 0.2 FTEs were charged to the Community Preservation Special Revenue Fund. The increase in staff is offset by a new general fund revenue source, a charge to the Community Preservation Special Revenue Fund for support provided by all of the divisions within the department. Operating expenses are increasing by $92,687. This includes $31,900 added to the Human Resources Division budget for training, $25,000 for sworn officers, $2,500 for employees within the AFSCME union, and $4,400 for the increased in cost for lifeguard recertification. $11,962 is being added to the Information Technologies Division budget for the increase in cost for software support and licensing, and $54,625 for cell phone expenses. The $54,625 increase for cell phone expenses is offset by corresponding decreases to other operating divisions, as the management of the bill will be centralized in the Information Technologies Division, improving efficiencies. Operating capital is level funded at $105,000. This funds the replacement of computer technologies throughout the municipal operations, with the exception of the police department, which funds its own. An increase in tax support will fund the increase in the operating budget.
Council will meet next on June 20th and will continue budget talks. The council will hear from community services, the airport, libraries, and community preservation. You can watch last night's meeting in its entirety online at town.barnstable.ma.us. Just click on Video on Demand. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.